Hi everybody, I'm here with Crash Games. We've got Patrick and Michael who are going to tell us a little bit about Rise, their, I guess, new release. I know it was successful Kickstarter pretty recently and then has been making the rounds. So yeah, if you want to tell us a little bit about it. And
Yeah, absolutely. It's a two-player abstract strategy. It's a modular board with area control elements and worker placement elements. Plays about 30 minutes. The goal of the game is to be the first player to build 3 towers. The way you do that is you kind of see here on the board, when you create this, a lot of people like to call it a flower formation, if you will, and I'll kind of take this out to show you. When you create this formation of 6 workers surrounding an empty hex, the first tower of the block begins, and that is a free action, and then as you maintain that formation every turn, the tower will rise, and on the 3rd turn, completes the tower. So it's a very simple game, very quick to learn and simple to set up and simple to teach, but very difficult to master. So it's a matter of about 7 different things you can do. Each turn, a player takes 2 actions, involving adding land to the boards. The board's always changing. Every game's a little bit different. Adding workers to the board, being able to move your workers around, jumping other workers to eliminate them, making some sacrifices to kind of gain control on your opponent. So very, very interesting, and a lot of people have taken a real good liking to the game, and it's been quite a treat.
Yeah,
Great.
One of the really cool things about Rise, and we had discovered this last year at BGGCon, was without a theme on the game, everybody is able to sort of project what they like. So I'm a cube pusher, so when I play Rise, I really see it as an area control worker placement. People have gone everywhere from soldiers, they see these as cultists, they see these as, everything under the sun. So it's one of the really neat things is that the palette is there for you to break ground and make it yours. And that's one of the most invigorating things about Rise. It is literally there for you to create your own experience.
Kind of going off of that a little bit more, the game starts off with a bridge format that you see in the rules, and that's kind of the tournament way to play. But during our Kickstarter campaign, to kind of get the blood going and get people involved and making them feel like they're really a good part of the campaign, we introduced to them our Rise Mapmaker program, and we said, hey, look, this bridge takes 12 tiles, it's symmetrical, and it's even for both sides. Why don't you take these 12 tiles and come up with something on your own? So you don't have to necessarily keep it symmetrical, but at least make it fair, as the starting position is equal for both players. And we probably got 90 some odd submissions.
It was crazy. We had talked about it on a whim, and we were trying to find ways to engage people into the project and engage people in the game, and it was just flooded. And there was nothing more exciting than seeing people take an interest, and they came up with some awesome formations. It was really neat.
One that looks like a mech warrior. You take the 12 tiles, you got the centerpiece, couple of legs, couple arms, and then the head, and then there's others that are just the 2 circles, which are pretty much the tower flowers missing that centerpiece, and then they start on both sides, and just a lot of creativity came out of that.
Impossible to pick a favorite. There were just a handful that I really liked.
Endless replayability with that. So
awesome. That sounds really cool. So I know you were successful with this Kickstarter project, and you've currently got one in the works. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, Patrick?
Sure. We do have a game right now on Kickstarter, Legend of the Lost Dutchman. It is a really fun game of adventure and discovery for 2 to 5 players, and the great thing is it only takes about half an hour to play, and they're taking on the theme of a prospector trying to find the Lost Dutchman's gold mine. So it's awesome. You're coming across some fierce creatures that you got to beat with your dice. You're coming across some, perilous natural disasters. There's treasure cards, there's item cards, there's treasure hunters along the way to kind of aid you in your quest, and the game ends when the water supply runs out, or if somebody finds the coveted mine of the Lost Dutchman. And so the player with the most treasure wins the game. It's absolutely phenomenal for families. It's phenomenal for casual gameplay. Probably the best compliment that we've received on the game from Father Geek, one of the guys that we gave a review copy to, was the game had enough meat to chew on, but not enough to choke you. And so that really sums up the game. It's a nice, rounded, thematic experience.
Sounds like you guys are really trying to pick some rounded titles to develop. This is a very abstract, maybe Euro abstract even, if you want to put it that way, whereas I'm sorry, what? Legend of the Lost
Legend of the Lost Dutchman.
Yeah, just making sure I'm saying it
No,
right.
it's
Legend
fine.
of
There's our Dan Yarrington, our distributor with Game Salute, always likes to misspeak. I guess he has kids, so he watches a lot of SpongeBob, and he always wants to call it Flying Dutchman. And so it's
I think that's what I was going.
Yeah, it's turned into this awesome running joke, and it's like I want to Hulk out every time I hear it. Like, no, don't call it that.
My baby.
Yeah, but I need to just embrace it, let it wash over me like a warm bath.
But it's great that's kind of more of if you will allow me, an Ameritrash style game, meaning more about having fun, rolling dice, seeing what happens.
Exactly.
There's definitely strategy, but
yeah,
not
there's significant
where this
decisions in Legend of the Lost Dutchman. There are meaningful strategies that you can take. So while you are, prone to your dice rolls or prone to what cards are popping up, if you're looking at your attribute levels, because you definitely maintain, skill levels and health, you're able to look and see what's most beneficial to me. And the really neat thing is it has a good take that element to it. So if you're looking to push over on an opponent, or you're looking to best them, there's the opportunity for that as well.
I really appreciate your comment regarding being well-rounded, because that's exactly what Patrick and I have as a mission statement, as a goal with Crash Games, is that we're not pigeonholing ourselves into one style of game. We want to just offer what's fun and fantastic for gamers, for families, for the whole spectrum of anybody that plays games. And so, yeah, with Rise, we went with a pure strategy, no luck elements at all, very scrupulous, very tit-for-tat, tempo-style game. While with Dutchman, we kind of went to the other end of the spectrum.
It's almost the exact opposite.
And went, high luck value, strategies involved in that as well, but just, a little bit more family oriented, and also introducing playing up to 5 players rather than Rise where it just plays the 2. So,
and both in their own respects, Legend of the Lost Dutchman with that, high luck factor has some potential for great drama. There's nothing like flipping over an uncovered card and it's a 10 treasure and everyone's like, what? And all of a sudden you're catapulted, to the front of the line, or you flip over a card and there's a diamond back that's super difficult to beat. Your friends are just talking trash against you. But Rise also produces that drama because you got that back and forth tug of war. And some of the times we'll be playing a game and somebody won't visualize or see the pattern that we're going for. And one of Michael's favorite moves that I wish I could pull off is he'll get his pattern and he'll do a double tower drop. And I'm like, what? Where did that come from? So,
yeah.
We really want people to know that a big part of our company is we want to produce that rich experience. We won't sacrifice the gameplay just to put a game out, which I know is a lot of people's concerns with small publishers, is a quantity over quality. If we sacrifice our quality, we won't be around for long.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of required to ask this as the iOS video game or board game editor on BoardGameGeek. No, I'm just kidding. But
I love the direction already.
Yeah.
I already know where you're going.
Do you have any plans for digital development?
Absolutely, and that's Rise lends itself so well to the digital format. But let me also say that it's part of our model with Crash Games and our business plan to take all of our analog games to a digital format. It's starting with Rise and moving forth with our other games, but we've kind of got that in the works right now. We're talking to a couple of different people, a couple of different companies that we're really excited about. Don't want to share too much into that yet.
Some big ones that people are aware of and would be very familiar with.
So you'll see this definitely, and it'll blow people away. I'm excited.
Yeah,
for
and
it.
it's important that people know that our plan as a company to have every game in the digital format isn't simply a business model or a profit model. So many gamers are into video games only, and we want to try to reach over that and cross into that and say, hey, great, you played Ticket to Ride on your iPad, go buy the game. We want that to be the experience with Rise and Legend of the Lost Dutchman in our games, is they may not pick up the analog, the physical board game, but if they see that it's on the iPad, on the iPhone, on the Android, then they have some familiarity with it. So we want to reach that. We're very communal, and we would love to, while we do this, enhance the community as well and build the community.
A funny little backstory with that is that's absolutely right what Patrick is saying, in the sense that you find these gamers that have their certain preferences or niches that they're in, but they're willing to expand. They just don't know what quite is out there. Myself, a video gamer all my life. I've been a tremendous video gamer. That's all, that was pretty much what all my time went to. Patrick, on the other hand, was a big board gamer. When we met, he introduced me to hexagons and what they can do, and I sat down, my brain was going wild, and that's how I designed Rise and came up with that based off of Patrick introducing me to this concept, and now I love board games. I'm huge into board games now.
Saw the hexagons and the butterflies in the background, and why do birds? It was this whole, love moment.
So
that makes sense. Great. Yeah, it sounds like you guys really have a clear vision of how you want to proceed and a clear understanding of all the elements involved in the board game industry. So yeah, thank you for speaking with me, and I hope to we'll probably be by a little later to check out the Legend of the Lost Dutchman. Yeah,
which is currently on Kickstarter right now. We have it in a 60-day campaign. We really need people's support. It's a much bigger project. It's double what we need for Rise. We need to raise $30,000, so we really need people to go on there, and if they like it, it's their type of game, we could really use your support.
yes, thank you. And thank you, Brad.
no problem. Thank you. Have a great show.
Thanks.
I pray it picks up.